As much as I said I hated them or that I didn't love them, I love them.
This Wives, Season 19, Episode 22, final part of the episode recap. And unhealed people are wild. Like, we knew that. We knew that. So I'm glad that you figured that out, which I don't actually think you did because you just need to save face so that you get another season. But anyway, let's do the recap thing. Last I left you, we were having him adamantly say, like, oh no, my situation is not a cult. Sure, and the first time you have to clarify that, you should start looking at the fact that you might have a little bit of a problem, right? Move on quickly in the episode, and this is a conversation I'm not going to show many clips from it because they've had it before, but Janelle does want to get a spiritual release from Kody because, again, and I always try to, this is a very basic overview, but there's two marriages, one here, one up there. One's for eternity, one's for just here, okay? So, if you don't want to spend eternity together, you have to get that release if you still believe in that kind of stuff, which Janelle says that she does. The part that she's very unsure about is the whole polygamy, plural marriage thing. She's like, I don't know if I buy that one anymore, but the rest I'm still there, so I don't want there to be some block in my head if I ever do decide to date, and I feel like I'm still married to somebody else. Then we jump over to Christine, and she's talking about it a little bit, and what she said I felt like is so important, because you don't need all these dudes to tell you what's going on or what's okay.
I wasn't interested. I didn't feel the need to get a spiritual divorce. I was at a different spot spiritually. I believe in God, and he was great with me leaving, so a conversation with him was good enough for me.
Like that, because when I did still believe in some stuff that was periphery, not the same belief system, obviously, I had my relationship with him, and I think once you start getting all these other people involved is where stuff gets, like, really messy. Now, I don't believe that anymore, but, I always thought that was kind of an important part of that. All these intermediaries, it just creates a lot of noise that you don't need. Then we jump over to Christine and David's first Valentine's Day, and Christine talks how her confidence took a huge hit through this. It was a really hard time to get through, and she's glad that she found David, because they seem to have this common ground and a really happy life together. Then we jump back over to Flagstaff. Seriously, look at my notes. It says, back to Flagstaff. See?
He's got gifts, and I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't know we were doing gifts here.
I know this is so conspicuous, right? One of them Pearl family. Valentine's Day was always a challenge.
Your Valentine's gift is big.
It was one day. And there were 3 wives, and then there were 4. There were sometimes I was just overwhelmed, so I was striking out.
Oh, my heart's pounding. Oh, wow.
He literally says, pretty jewelry for a pretty woman, and it's giving sweets for the sweet. I do not know. And a lot of people looked it up. I guess the earrings were around $2,500, which, I mean, if you like jewelry, whatever, but it'd be nice if you made your child support payment before that, but that's just my opinion. He pats himself on the back a little bit more about how it's her favorite type of turquoise, and then starts saying, it's nice that I don't have to worry about everyone else. Side note, I know they're filming for the show and you got to talk about certain things, but if every single date I went on, I was talking about all these other people and all these horrible events and stuff, I'll stay home, thank you, DoorDash.
I just have one to worry about right now, and there's no comparison, and nobody's getting jealous, and yeah.
It sounds like you should just kick it with monogamy. I mean, and not really like you have a whole lot of other choice unless you want to go outside of your group because they wouldn't let y'all marry anyone else anymore, considering the whole abandonment thing. But then Robin asks about Kody's trips to see Christine's kids.
It was a really good trip. Made arrangement to go see Christine's girls in Utah. Turns out there's other kids there. Like other of my kids from other mothers, Aspen and I had this long discussion. She said, Dad, what is wrong? What did I do? Why don't you like me, Dad?
I would say that's just kind of more of a confrontation.
Well, that was weird. He wasn't labeling it as a confrontation, but then, oh, you mean a confrontation? Anyway, just,
It was. She confronted me, which meant
Which is good.
for Aspen meant something was wrong. Yeah, Aspen literally asked why I didn't like her. And I'm like, sweetheart, I love you, and I always have, and always will. Aspen and I had a long discussion about us having a relationship, not filtered through my view of her mother or her mother's view of me.
Kody says it was a good conversation. Why would they think that he doesn't? I don't know, because he kind of inferred that several times on national television. Then he goes on to say that he feels like his ex-wives didn't protect the privacy in the relationship. And I do just want to point out, if you don't want people telling everyone about all the awful things that you've done, then you shouldn't have done those things. That's what it is. However, they have all been on like a media tour of just totally trashing each other for what it's been 19 seasons, so we're looking at several years, not to mention the book that came out in 2012, wherein they talked about a lot of really hard and intimate experiences between each other. I mean, it's not exactly like it was just the parents talking to the kids. I mean, this is kind of a national thing at this point, oddly enough. He goes on to say 2 boys from another mother were there, and honestly, if I had a petition to establish parentage against me because I wasn't on birth certificates, even though I swore that I was this whole time, but we knew that I wasn't because historically I just wouldn't be on the birth certificate because of certain way things work when you're not on the birth certificate, I'd probably not want to take too much responsibility either, I guess. Oh, I wouldn't do that. Oh. Then they go into talking about how hard the couple's Valentines were and all that stuff, and you can go back and watch those episodes, and they were really, really awkward. But Robin said something that was really interesting to me, of that either everyone wants the same thing or everyone wants something individual so that you want to know your husband knows you. Yeah, you're indoctrination a little bit. Because your husband knowing you enough not to buy you some random sign and then buy the other one a really thoughtful gift. That really happened, and he got in trouble with his mother-in-law. That's not really outside of the realm of wants for your partner to know you.
But I'm not interested in plural marriage anymore. I don't want to pursue another woman because I don't want that headache, the questions, the struggles, the wonder about trust. I'm not in that space. I can't deny the blessing that my children are to me. But
Now?
I'm completely discouraged by the idea that people feel obligated to do what we did. I think 5 years from now, I literally will see other polygamists, maybe even people I knew, and I will shudder for them.
Wow, somebody got a PR person, and also there's still a ton of mixed messages, because earlier on he's like, well, if I had gone to the divorce thingy, then I would have, and he continuously refers to it as his shirt anyway, but I'm sure that's neither here nor there. I wanted this to be the final part, but I'm gonna have to do just a little extra one that's gonna be about 3 minutes, so we can just really take in the last little bit of this episode and how it was total horse. Anyway, have a good day.